6:41 now on a Saturday morning that has different sky conditions depending on where you're watching us from. Right now at Monument, the sky looks mostly clear, seen from Community Banks of Colorado. Probably one of the reasons that storms may develop earlier in this area than in other areas where we have some low clouds around that will kind of slow the heating down. The temperatures aren't varied much here in eastern Colorado, a mixture of 40s and 50s right now. We do have some colder air up high with 20s and 30s over the mountains and mountain valleys where the air is drier. And Futurecast is showing the low clouds channeling up the Arkansas River, which is not unusual. You see kind of this hole in the clouds this morning that we've noticed around the Pikes Peak region. We're kind of up on a little bit of an island. But the low clouds that we have out there are an indication of some low-level moisture that we were kind of lacking along the Front Range yesterday, and that's why we didn't see any real strong storms until they were a little farther east on the plains. But today it looks like the upslope flow will hold that water up against the mountains for these storms to work with. And so as we head into the afternoon, we start to see some storms break out initially near the higher terrain. And then eventually they'll start to head off towards the east. Probably a little cooler today, mixture of 60s and 70s in eastern Colorado this afternoon. I think we'll have similar numbers over the mountains and mountain valleys, so not a lot of variety with regard to high temperatures across the state during the day today. These storms, as they move east late this afternoon and this evening, are going to have the potential to produce some large hail. Yesterday we had some reports of hailstones out in southeastern Colorado around 2 inches in diameter. Now, that could be a possibility with the stronger storms again today. Notice you see some real bright colors on the map and kind of two primary focus areas here through this evening, at least as far as Futurecast is concerned. One is the higher terrain around the Pikes Peak region, headed off towards the east into eastern El Paso County and eventually off into Elbert and Lincoln County. And the other is going to be probably near the Colorado-New Mexico state line. This doesn't mean that other areas may not have some storms around. Models are going to always have a hard time knowing exactly where storms will develop, but those do seem to be two areas of focus through 6 o'clock. Now, as we move into the evening hours, and this was true last night, we could see showers and thunderstorms firing up at various intervals over the plains well into the night, maybe after midnight. Had a pretty good light show last night, actually, for a little while up to the north and east of Colorado Springs. That could be the case again tonight. I think as we head through midnight, the severe weather threat will be on the decrease, but we'll have to watch those storms at least through the midnight time frame. Then by tomorrow morning, another little upper level wave could kick off some showers over the San Luis Valley, maybe the southern Sangre de Cristo Mountains. We'll likely have some low clouds over the far eastern plains and maybe some patchy low clouds a little farther to the west, probably not quite as many as we have out there this morning. Temperatures through the night tonight should remain in the 40s and 50s for most areas. You'll have to get up pretty high before things drop off into the 30s, but they will once you get up into the high country and places where the air is a little bit drier. Well, I wanted to show you Highway 115 in Turkey Creek, but that camera has decided to take an early weekend, I guess, and relax. Tracking more thunderstorms, not just for tomorrow, but probably for the next several days. Things will cool off a little bit early this week. There might even be a little snow across the high country by Monday night into Tuesday. We'll talk a lot more about that in our extended forecast coming up here in just a bit. Kershaw, back to you.
Sounds good. All right.